Well, hey guys, Louie here, and thought I'd do a little update on the metals market and continue this series of what Americans do not see. And they don't see it because of the currency exchange rates. We tend to price our precious metals in US dollars, and then it's the currency fluctuations that move those metals all around the world. So I'm back on the Kitco chart that will price silver and gold in any currency around the year. And I thought today we might take a look at gold. I know silver made the big run, just as we thought, right? It is up over $18. Just smashed through all that resistance, and as I had hoped, is in the $18 range. I would think there'd be a pullback here somewhere, at which point I would probably increase my holdings. So I think we have a date with 20 when it comes to silver, but I'm not going to talk about that today. What I want to talk about is gold. So let's go ahead and see what's up in the gold market. I know you may have thought the gold move was done, and here it is today. It ended at about 1535 in U.S. terms, but not even close to its all-time high of about 2,000. So I think my money would be on a further move in gold, if not immediately, certainly in the near term. But what is gold doing around the world? And I want to say hi to all of my friends from around the world who have just subscribed, especially all the great comments I got from Australia. And I did not realize that the currency was in such desperate condition in Australia. They really are going through some hard times there. So I thought what we might do today is we might look at gold in America, which we just did, and then around the world. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me get over to the Australian dollar one more time, and we'll go out to a long chart, and there you go. There is gold in Australia. So back around 2009, well, when the chart starts, it was about 975. Today, it closed at 2258, I believe, Australian, something like that, 2250 or so. So look at the breakout in the Australian currency. And some of you said you wanted to see the currencies, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Australian dollar to United States dollar chart. Give me 1 second here. Okay, here we are in the chart, which compares the Australian dollar to the United States dollar, and they graph that over time. It looks like the all-time high in the Australian dollar to U.S. dollar exchange rate was about 1.1. Well, today 1.1 was at around 2011 or 2012. Today in 2019, where is it? 0.67. Okay, that is a serious reduction in the purchasing power of the Australian dollar as it compares to the United States dollar. So as I've been responding to some of the comments, I do think we have two things going on here. I think we have the rapid devaluation of other currencies around the world, and I believe they also are having some other economic difficulties. But the rate at around 0.67 to every U.S. dollar is the lowest it has been in quite a few years. And then back to that gold chart. So if you'll recall, the top value was around 2011, and let's go back to that gold chart. So around 2011, gold was around 1375, and again here we are at 23 something. So nearly a halving of the currency and a doubling of the gold price. Of course, and you know, it's not just the currency exchange rate that is causing the damage in Australia. It's gold, I believe, is undervalued as well. So I think we have the double scenario of both the currency faltering and gold being undervalued in U.S. dollars. So that creates kind of a double slingshot here for gold in Australia. Wow, what a setup. And I don't know where this will end, but clearly you can see the breakout is dramatic, and people are trying to get a hold of gold in Australia from what I hear. All right, so let's go ahead and try another currency. Let's go ahead and do the Canadian dollar. Okay, now the Canadian dollar, silver had not yet totally broken out, but we're going to do gold today. And let me get to the 1 month chart. Okay, there is gold, a full breakout of gold. The most recent high was, well, let's do it this way. The high around 2011 was about 1900 or so, and here we are at 2042, and it certainly looks like that move is just getting started in Canada. Let's take a look at the Canadian exchange rate. I know they've been having some trouble there, and silver was not yet having a big breakout in Canada, but clearly gold just made its move. Above the all-time high. But let's look at the currency to see if that confirms that they're... Okay, now here we are with the Canada dollar to the US dollar, and looks like we've had a pretty steady decline here for going on a couple of years. The high was about a 0.83, and currently we're sitting at about a 0.75, I believe that is. So there's a serious drop in the Canadian dollar, and back to that gold chart, and that does seem to correspond to a breakout. Although this looks like an all-time high, and that was not the all-time low in the currency. So here we see that for some reason gold is breaking out to an all-time high, despite the currency not being as weak as it has been in the past. One more time, let's look at that currency chart. Okay, so yeah, here we are. The Canadian dollar has been much weaker as compared to the US dollar, as low as 0.68. However, gold is breaking out in spite of it being right about in the middle of that range. So the Canadian dollar could have further to drop. But gold is breaking out pretty much on its own right. Perhaps all it needed was this couple-year period of deterioration to get going. But I'd say gold is making a strong statement in Canada right now. Let's go on. All right, let's see what is going on with the British pound. Gold in the British pound. I've heard they've had some pretty serious breakouts in gold. In the pound. So let's take a look at the 1 month chart. All right, let's go back to about 2011. So here we are with the pound, and I know they've got all the Brexit stuff going on, but this is a clear breakout of gold. You could say that is indicative of much higher prices to come. It's presently at 1,250. Let's see, high, low, close, 1,250 in sterling, and clearly a breakout. The previous high was only about 1194. Let's see if there was anything else. No, that's just been climbing. So since 2009 in sterling, gold has gone from 457 up to 1251. So that is, well, that's between a double and a triple, nearly a triple for gold in the last 10 years. Okay, so who says that precious metals investors are foolish? That looks to me like nearly a triple. Let's see if we can blame it on the currency. Let's go get a look at the British pound versus the U.S. Oh, well, there you go. The British pound has been on a steady collapse for 13 years. Wow, I had no idea the pound had devalued that much. So here we are around 2008 or so. Looks like about 2.1 pounds to the dollar. And now we are down at 1.22. So a dramatic drop in the dollar, and even since 2011, we are down from 1.7 down to 1.22. So that is pretty near a collapse, the way I see it. Now, what's surprising is that silver has not yet rocketed to new highs. So with the currency going in that direction in comparison to the dollar, and with metals being priced in dollars, the gold breakout does not surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all, but I don't believe silver has the same chart. Hold on one second, I'm going to go back to the silver chart for the UK. Okay, so we are back to the price of silver in British sterling, and nothing like the gold chart, huh? Okay, so it looks like silver had a similar move back around 2011 along with the United States, and had the steady decline, and is just now starting to inch back up. But when you see the other chart, when you see the currency dropping, and you see the gold all-time breakout, that tells me that silver in sterling is going much higher very fast. Very, very fast. I mean, I would expect, it's at 1480 today. I mean, if silver isn't around $20 pounds in the very near future, I'll be quite surprised, because you saw what gold did. Well, here we are with silver just getting started, and we know that silver can lag gold, but it usually slingshots up, just like you saw it do the last couple of days with the massive moves in the US. Well, there we go. So, you know, I would not give up on gold right now. It seems like that move is just getting started in many currencies. However, it is, you know, definitely breaking much, much higher, and has reason to with the currency collapse. So that goes to show you, I think, that there is room for more movement depending on your country. And I know it's easier to buy precious metals and sell precious metals in some countries, which puts a cap kind of on them. And I think some of that is going on in the British pound as it comes to silver. But there are definitely ways to accumulate silver with the lowest possible taxes, and there are ways to sell silver if you have a mind to. Or let's go back to that currency chart. You can wait. You can wait. If you have seen your pound go from 2.1 pounds to the dollar down to 1.2 pounds to the dollar, that's pretty serious devaluation there. I wonder if you've noticed things getting more expensive over the last 10 years. And in the United States, our dollar has stayed quite strong, but yet things definitely are going up here as well. It's just a strong dollar does not necessarily mean no goods inflation. I mean, inflation can happen with a strong dollar. It just requires the rest of the world to be weak. But I guess we'll have to see what the market will bring. I would say that silver has made its big move for the moment, but I would expect it to go to 20 here sometime in the near future, to test 20, maybe be repelled off it for the first pass. For gold, I think we have got room to run all over the world, including the US. So I would not be shying away from buying more gold if I didn't have much yet. I do think you want to own silver and gold, and diversify yourself. I also think you don't want to have all of your money in precious metals. It is somewhat speculative, and things could change tomorrow. But it looks like with the printing presses running full time, and recession or depression in our future, debt at the highest levels we have ever seen, I'm not seeing the silver lining here. I'm not seeing the reason why gold would go back down or silver would go back down. I think the floor is in. I think dips at this point will be bought just as effectively as the stock market has been bought. You have people buying the dips in the stock market for the longest time. So, and if we have a crash in the U.S.,
I was cut off. I was saying that if we do have a crash in the Dow Jones, and I personally am betting on there being a serious reduction down to at least 22,000, I think, is in our future, then I think that is going to accelerate the moves in precious metals, the third rubber band. Because what will happen? Well, interest rates in the U.S. will be dropped yet again. Quantitative easing, or something even more insidious, will be proposed and executed, and rates will be down, if not negative. And that is, as you see around the world, as you debase the currency, it is the reason that we, one of the reasons that we want precious metals in our portfolio. And it certainly seems like there are a number of factors that will accelerate the prices for precious metals. So hold the course there, guys, and do protect yourself. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Bye now.